Welcome for being with us tonight, everyone. I have a great guest for you. Those of you who are tennis fans, or maybe you actually play tennis, I have Elliot Pegg with you today. And he is the director of tennis here at Rancho Las Palmas Country Club, where I live in the winter. So we're bringing him on to talk about a lot of great things that are happening out here, including the Pariba Open. For those of you who don't know, it's like a huge, huge tennis here in the United States, in Indian Wells, right down the street from us. And our Elliot is going to be very involved in that. So welcome to the show, Elliot Pegg.
Thank you. I'm very honored to be on your show.
So Elliot, as you guys can probably hear by the accent, the day I met Elliot, I said, "Oh, so you're an Aussie," and he didn't hit me with the ball. He's from the UK. So Elliot, tell us a little bit about your background and your education in tennis.
So I started playing tennis when I was 8. Obviously went through school and began to take sport a lot more seriously, as well as my tennis coaching. Started coaching at the age of 16. We have a couple of leisure clubs all around the country in England called David Lloyd, and went part-time. And then I decided to take tennis a lot more seriously during university while studying sports coaching and physical education at Oxford Brookes University. From there, my degree encompassed not only the sports coaching aspect, but the science part of the sport and psychology, fitness, diet. It involved a lot of good stuff that's been a good help for me in my future. Completed my degree, was the captain of the tennis team, and then went on to move out to America and work full-time as a coach.
Great. Well, tell us a little bit about the Cliff Drysdale tennis program offered at Rancho Las Palmas.
So, first of all, Cliff Drysdale is the biggest tennis management company we have here in America. I'm very lucky to have the opportunity to come out here. We took over this club about 3 or 4 years ago. And basically we're trying to run, one of the biggest tennis camps and a very big club out here in the desert. Our company's based around, trying to get a lot of energy onto the court and give people the best tennis experience. And we have a real international effect. Cliff Drysdale himself is South African, and the 2 vice presidents are from New Zealand and Australia, and myself and a lot of other pros are from all over the world. So we really bring the international effect to America and to the clubs.
And so how is this tying into the Pariba Open that's going to be happening here in just a few weeks?
Well, luckily enough, being so close to Indian Wells, being a 15-minute drive, we host, an event that supports a big charity called Acing Autism, called Tennis with the Stars. And we're fortunate enough to have some of the players come from the tournament before the tournament begins and kind of play an exhibition and play with some of the people out here and, playing a pro-am. And obviously we also have a lot of people come all over the world to the desert and choose Rancho Las Palmas as their facility, and they come and play tennis in the mornings, and then a lot of people kind of get shuttled over and go check out the tournament. I've been very fortunate to go to that tournament many times in the last 2 years, and hands down, it's definitely the best tennis tournament I've been to. It's very intimate. You get to see a lot of the players, and you get very close and that personal to them, and everyone's there. No one's going to miss the tournament. They call it the 5th major. So very fortunate to be so close to one of the biggest tennis tournaments in the world in March.
Mm-hmm. And so we're going to be having playing with the stars here in Rancho Las Palmas Country Club. And I saw that last year. I was up close and personal. I mean, you're sitting right there. You're listening to them joke with each other, and they are funny on the court. They've got a great sense of humor, and the tennis is so fast paced. So, are you going to be playing tennis with them again this year?
This year, my role might be a little different. Last year, I was just a tennis pro, so I was unable to kind of be on the court and playing with them. This year, I might be a little bit more active in the back stuff and around the courts, making sure everything's working as being the director now. But a lot of the pros that will be with the company will be on the courts playing with them. A lot of the guys out here, the members and the people that are coming from all over the country will be on the court. But it's a real experience to play tennis with the highest level in the world. And it's not something you can do every day. And sometimes you don't really think of them as people. You just look at them as this, famous tennis player, but they really are just kids. Half of them were younger than me last year. And you're kind of chatting around to them and they're just joking around, and they just happen to be very talented tennis players and lovely people. So.
Do we have any idea yet who's going to be involved in that? What pros?
We have Taylor Fritz, who is an upcoming American. We're hoping that he's going to really sail through the rankings in the upcoming years. He's a young gun, has a lot of potential. And Jeannie Bouchard, who is the sweetheart of women's tennis, is going to be coming back for a second year. And we're still waiting for the next two to be announced. So we're waiting for the next two. After the Australian Open, obviously there'll be a bit more action now, and people's focus is more towards America. So we're hoping in the next week to 2 weeks that we'll have the other two players announced.
And how can people come from all over the world to see the Paribas Open? They come from all over the world here. You can't drive your car anywhere. It's so crowded.
Yeah.
But how can people watching this video, how can they get tickets to come right here to Rancho Las Palmas Country Club and sit close enough to practically touch them when they play?
The website is tenniswiththestars.com. Very simple. You could even type that into Google. And it will bring up a website, and it will bring all the information that you need: tickets, venue, times, different things you could do there, and different packages. You can also contact me. I'm more than happy to give you more information if it's easier that way. I'm going to tell you the number now. So for anyone listening, write the number down. It's 760-862-4531. So just give me a call, and I would happily give you more information. But the website is really good. It gives you everything you need. It's very simple to kind of navigate around. Just, you can type in Tennis with the Stars, Omni Rancho Las Palmas in Google, and it'll be the first 10 hits on Google, and you can't miss it. So I really recommend it, just to have that opportunity to meet and play with these guys that you would never dream of playing against is a real opportunity. I've played points against Nishikori and Bouchard and David Ferrer, and it's something that I'll never forget. So it's definitely one experience you need to have in your lifetime.
It's a whole different level of tennis. I mean, you can't imagine how fast they are, and they're playing to have fun at that point, and they're just amazing. So with all this professional tennis that we're talking about, and you have a degree in coaching, which includes health and diet. What do you see as being a winning diet, not just for tennis, but basically for life? We are what we eat. So what do these stars eat?
I mean, tennis, you have to be extremely active. You don't want to have too much weight carrying around. You have to be agile and moving. You have to keep yourself fresh. So everyone has a different diet. Some people go more extreme than others. Myself, as a pro, being on my feet all day, I really try and have a solid breakfast. They always say that breakfast is the most important meal of the day. I try and get my protein in the morning, and I always have a smoothie. So I've always kind of got those natural sugars and give me energy. You definitely want to have your carbohydrates. You can't just stack up on one type of food. You really have an even mix, your carbs, your fibers, your proteins, your sugars. And then you want a dinner, just have something like some rice and chicken, something very simple, not too heavy. And then, you kind of start again. You obviously want to avoid the bad stuff. Everyone's going to have their odd chocolate bar, or, they're going to go out and have a glass of wine at dinner. But as long as you don't go over the top on anything, then you're fine. Another thing that's very interesting, and I actually did this once, is Djokovic has gone very extreme. He's gone gluten-free. I actually went gluten-free for a month, and I've never felt better in my life. So if anyone out there, gluten-free, really makes you feel a lot better. I've never woken up and been so fresh. I've never slept so well. I've never felt so light on my feet. My whole skin color was brighter. But it's extremely difficult because a lot of food has gluten in it, and you don't kind of realize quite how much food there is with gluten in it. So it's very difficult to do, and it's easier for these guys when they have their own private chefs. But I think having a nice mix of not trying to eat too much gluten and eat the right things at the right times of the day is essential for tennis.
Yeah, and diet is so important to not just keep us in shape, but it keeps your mind in shape too. When you've got the right diet, you're sharp.
It does. It keeps you mentally, you feel better about yourself, you're positive, and everything really for me was the sleep part. Like mentally, I was just sleeping so much better because all the food going through my body was digesting so well, and my body felt great, so I was able to relax at night. And tennis is an extremely mental sport, so going into tennis every day, if you feel good, you're going to play good. And people can kind of have that loss of concentration on the court, but kind of having the right food and mentally being in a good place really shows on the tennis court, and people play better. I mean, Djokovic is one of the best tennis players in the world, and he eats very well. It's obviously showing in his ability on the court.
You're burning a lot of calories too when you're playing tennis. So you have to have those calories to burn. So that brings us to another point. Is there ever an age where you can't start playing tennis?
I've played with 2.5-year-olds, and in the summer, I was playing with a 95-year-old. The beautiful thing about tennis is there is no limit to what age you can play. It has everything involved. It has exercise, it's sociable, it's fun, it's good for your coordination. It's very accessible. There's tennis courts everywhere. There's no restriction. As long as you've got a net, 2 rackets and some lines on a court, you can play anywhere at any age. It's one of the beautiful things about it.
Mm-hmm. And it's a great, it's not just a great sport that keeps you in great shape, but it is such a social sport. I mean, I remember when I was going through my cancer treatment, I remember asking the doctor, is there life after tennis? Because he kept saying, you're never going to play tennis again.
No.
But my tennis actually kept me from getting edema in my arms. My tennis kept me really strong because you have muscle memory. So start tennis as early as you can, because it can really help you if you get sick. It's going to bring you back. And your friends, the social networking that you have in tennis is like no other social networking. You've got a whole team behind you, not just with golf, you've got 2 or 3 golfers, but with tennis, you've got a whole team.
Yeah, I mean, it's a really, a lot of people use tennis as a way of meeting people. And, some of my best friends are through tennis, and part of my life is revolved around my career now. And I've met some amazing people and made some amazing relationships that will last for a lifetime, all because of playing and coaching tennis. And, you get to meet people that you would never normally meet. Tennis attracts all different types of people, and it's a real opener to go out there and meet lots of different types of people all over the world. I've been very, very fortunate.
So not only is tennis a really tough sport on your body, I mean, you got to move all the time. You're bending, you're squatting, you're jumping, your feet are, I mean, you're always telling us on the team, move your feet, move your feet. You're never standing still. It's like you're dancing without music. So how do you coach players to handle these challenges of not just physical, but mental stress as well? Making the shot, not getting down on yourself, keeping your partner up while you're doing that, because those are the skills that you use in life, no matter what your business is, to keep yourself on top.
Yeah, it's a great question. I mean, I have players on the court that are all over, their head is all over the place. And at the end of the day, you do just have to remember it's just tennis. It really isn't the end of the world. You have to look at it as it's fun. And even at the highest of levels, you have to just enjoy it and take it point by point. The best thing is you don't have to look 3 hours ahead. You just take it as it comes, and it's very, very good mentally. It keeps you mentally tough. And positive, one of the things that the whole company incorporates is just trying to have that positive attitude, make it as fun, as enjoyable as you can. If people enjoy tennis, they're going to play better. It's bottom line. So for Cliff Drysdale, we just try and really put a positive aspect on tennis, and really hope that people walk in with a smile and they walk out, with some fit, and feel like they've done something, they've learned something, they've had a good time, which is key. The bottom line is, if you enjoy it, you're going to play better, and you're not going to let yourself get down, let your head drop.
Mm-hmm. So for those of you watching the show tonight, if you're looking for a great place to take a month, 2-month, 3-month vacation, come check out Rancho Las Palmas Country Club and the tennis here. So how are you guys looking to grow the tennis club here at Rancho Las Palmas?
Well, we have one of the most beautiful facilities I've ever stepped.
We have 26 courts here.
25 tennis courts. We have a stadium tennis court that is just one of the most breathtaking views I've ever seen in my life. You've got the court that's sunk underground, surrounded with palm trees and mountains and snow in the background, and there's blue sky. Just having 25 tennis courts opens up so much opportunity. Since I've kind of taken over, I've really tried to build the juniors, kids of the future, really trying to get kids from all over the area to come and try out tennis. It's a great sport. You get a lot out of it. Meet kids, you're sociable, and trying to get people from all over the country to come. In the winter, very fortunate enough to still have warm weather and being able to be in shorts and t-shirt all year round. And, we're trying to really get a lot of people coming out to Southern California, to the desert, and just to experience the tennis out here. And not only do we have the beautiful tennis, but there's so much to do in this area as well. We're really surrounded by beautiful national parks and treks, and, the tramway in Palm Springs, and it really has everything. And, myself and my head pro, Rob, who you'll get to meet in future shows, is, extremely good guy. We're both from England. We've known each other for a long time, and we're both extremely motivated to make this one of the best tennis camps in the world.
Great. So how can people well, first of all, I know that you kind of told me, I hope it wasn't a secret, but you had a special going on for anybody who calls you and wants to possibly sign up at Rancho. Do they need to call you to get that? Is that like an
Yeah,
off-air special?
off-air special. Give me a call. If you found out about the club from the show, then give me a call, and you'll be getting like a free clinic, or we'll take care of you when you first come out, and just to get you involved. The website is extremely easy to navigate around. Just go RLPCC, which stands for Rancho Las Palmas Country Club.com. And then there'll be a tab there which will say tennis, and it'll give you all the information. Again, just Google it as well. Cliff Drysdale Tennis, Rancho Las Palmas Country Club Tennis, anything like that on Google, and it will take you straight to all the information. And like I said, that contact number to call me, and any questions, concerns, queries, anything, I'm there and all ears, and hopefully we can get you out here.
And so, again, his contact number is 760-862-4531.
That's the one.
Okay, and you're going to ask for Elliot Pegg, P-E-G-G, and again, that is with the Cliff Drysdale, D-R-Y-S-D-A-L-E Tennis.
Right.
So, Elliot, thank you so much for being with us today. This is the first in a series of shows we're going to do on Rancho Las Palmas Country Club Tennis, because this is one of the premier tennis destination places in the world. And if you come here and check it out, you'll see why.
Thank you.
So, thanks again for being with us, and we look forward to the next time you're on here with us.
Right. Thanks. Bye, everybody. Bye.
Good night, everybody.